when we thought about building something that had not been created before, what we said to ourselves is, let's not play it safe. Let's really stretch ourselves beyond what people can imagine. Let's create the Willy Wonka of coffee.
Bitch, shut the fuck up with your globalizing, commercial line, bean fry.
Whoa, dude. Let's pump the brakes for a second. We need to take a look at how we got here in the first place. Echo Park, California in 2018. A millennial's dream neighborhood. Organic grocery stores, vintage boutiques, trendy music venues, and a cute park, all within walking distance from each other. Not to mention, an overwhelming amount of spoiled brat mom-and-pop coffee shops. With all of those options, why on earth would those corporate monsters at Starbucks think it was a wise investment to erect one of their reserve roastery locations in this neighborhood? My boyfriend Alex and I decided to take a closer look, but we needed an additional pair of eyes. So we called in the third member of Name This Podcast, the 6'3" point guard for the Boston Celtics, Mr. Kyrie Irving. Unfortunately, he is yet to respond. So we called in another flat earth expert, the 5'8" fashion model and actress, Allie Clarkson. We began stomping around the neighborhood, attempting to tally up how many coffee shops there already were in Echo Park. We then realized it was opening day for the Dodgers. The Alleys even made a guest appearance on Power 106.
Y'all want to go on air?
Yeah,
on Power?
definitely. You can do this remotely?
Yeah. What's your name? Are y'all married?
No.
He said not yet. What did you say?
I'm dating his best friend, so no.
Oh! Good guy.
Finally, enough courage was worked up to head towards ground zero for Echo Park's gentrification, the Mohawk Collective, where Hamburger Habit and Chipotle are now joined by the likes of iconic Seattle-based coffee house chain, Starbucks.
But this Starbucks isn't just your normal Starbucks. This is a Starbucks Reserve, where at some of them, I don't know if it's this one, they serve alcohol. It's supposed to be their rebuttal to Intelligentsia, or Blue Bottle, or Gatefold, you know?
Do you want to have a strategy meeting beforehand? Or?
What inspired Starbucks to just make a Starbucks but significantly nicer?
Doesn't the logo look like a Rockstar game? Maybe you would know that.
Let's just do it.
We have a very active Yelp account. We're allowed to be filming it here. Wow.
Upon first entry, we saw a shared working table and a standard issue cashier counter glittered with a colorful cast of pastries. We then began to admire the spacious high ceilings and, most of all, the main lounge area. Turned out we weren't the first to explore the neighborhood's newest roastery. A healthy fig tree complements the entryway to the outdoor patio. Sun-drenched and charming indeed, but charm can only take you so far. We ventured back inside where we were greeted by a friendly barista named Alma. She gave us a couple menus filled with a variety of beans. We glanced at some familiar coffee tools, but were drawn to an unrecognizable one. Turns out they had an open reservation for the siphon experience. Just as we were getting underway, Diego, the master roaster, emerged from the floor space, prepared to guide us through this caffeine voyage. Turns out the siphon experience is a fairly easy step-by-step process. They turn the lights on, stick this thing in that thing, add a filter to this bathtub drain stopper, add 2 more cups in the water lights, and crank up the heat. When the cup gets foggy, it's time to dump the bean dust in the water and stir it up. As the old saying goes, do to one as you do unto the other, or whatever. And finally, all we need is the gurgle to let us know the hot brown water is ready for consumption.
There's the gurgle.
Our 3 different coffees were served to us in a flight style so we could try one another's. We clinked tiny mugs and opened our palates. At first taste, Alex had mediocre feedback.
It's just coffee.
Allie, on the other hand, was immediately brought to tears. We felt it was necessary to leave the persuasive comfort of Starbucks and walk to the park to let the experience settle with us before giving an official review. Allie wrote her thoughts out on paper while Alex reflected skyward. The Goodyear blimp floated above us ominously, pressing for answers to questions that only I could inquire. Finally, with bated breath, I summoned my friends to tell me about their Starbucks Reserve experience.
So guys, tell me about your Starbucks Reserve experience.
Well, I can't reserve my opinion about this, so I'll just tell you about it. I think it was great. The beautiful barista that was serving us gave us a well-rounded experience, very knowledgeable, and I enjoyed it. That's my take.
All right, you want my review? No reservations review? Starbucks Reserve, A+. Starbucks Reserve,
A+.
you have my vote. Starbucks Reserve, you have my reservation.
The votes are in. Looks like Starbucks Reserve is here to stay. Yeah, they may be globalizing corporate monsters, but we can only judge them from our individual experiences. And ours was, dare we say, disappointingly impressive. Echo Park is changing. Heck, the world is changing. The upcoming decade is a lot like the siphon experience at Starbucks. You'll never know what it really is until you peel back the Reserve sign, plop down in your chair, stare Alma directly in the eyes and say, hey, what's this shit all about? You may find out that Alma's actually pretty fucking cute.
Now that's what I call
A podcast.